Kasane lies in riverine woodland and is a meeting point of 4 countries. One of them is Botswana, which is the country we're in now, Namibia, Zambia and Zimbabwe. It is also a meeting point of 2 rivers, the Zambezi and the Chobe. It's a jumping off point for Victoria Falls, which is about 80 km down the road this way, and it is the northern gateway of the Chobe National Park. northern part of the Makgadikgadi Pans. This vast expansive area is 37,000 square kilometers. It's the last vestiges of an inland sea, an ancient inland sea, the biggest in Africa. here in our campsite in Maremi Gorge in the Swapong Hills here in Botswana. Absolutely stunning place. The campsite facilities are rudimentary, but they're adequate. There's a solar shower, which we've all experienced this morning. It was warmish. Braai facilities. It's got a little kitchen, and it's actually quite nicely turned out. It's a place where the endangered Cape vulture has a breeding ground in the rocky outcrops. In fact, it's the most northerly place you'll find Cape vultures, and this place is a place of outstanding beauty.
Fire's going to be sharp.
I can't really. I'll have to listen to that first. Follow the fire.
Keith, did you have any animals come into your tent last night?
We had a mini leopard coming to visit. You can check the spoor over there. Sorry? I'm not a sissy.
Are you a sissy, Bernie?
Only in some days.
I need you what?
Not today. Only on Sundays. Someday.
What are we having this evening, Keith?
Smashed potato with onions in. It's Russian sausages.
We like rations, don't we?
Are you happy with that, Bernard?
Over the moon. That's it. It's full moon as well.
Okay, rolling.
Okay. Scene one, take one.
This is personal washing. You can't publish it.
Ah, well, I can't see. I can't see the washing inside.
It was a fantastic trip. Coming back to Botswana again.
Oh, you have to
You want to start again, I suppose.
Take two.
Start off with a clean sponge. Yeah, this Botswana trip was a really amazing experience. Seeing all the animals and also the very vast plains and pans. Because you read about them in the book or the books, and they say, oh, this pan is this big and that wide. But until you get onto it, you don't realize it. And of course, there's mud in the pan, which I tried to find. And on the last day I did find. But luckily my tyres had some super grip and managed to get out. And yeah, all the places we've been to have been very nice. Everything's in Pula, which at the moment rand is a bit weak, so it's starting to get a bit expensive. But for camping and that, it's not too bad. We could never afford to go in the chalets, and so we kind of just the squatters down the end of the camp. Other people have got these fancy trailers that they pull behind, and sometimes not. But the trailer does get pulled out of wherever it gets lodged. Yeah, that's talking about that. Yes, some roads were quite interesting. Good experience for some people, I think. And I think it's going to give very good experience to people about 4x4ing and that. Because to me, this is 4x4 country. You shouldn't break your vehicle because it's sand. And it's a really good learning curve to come here and practice your 4x4 driving. But it's not for sissies. You got to put all those little buttons that come with your vehicle. You must put them in the right place.
Big Falls was amazing. We just loved it, the awesomeness of it, and I just experienced God's greatness there. And I'd love to go back. Otherwise, Chobe Safari Lodge was fantastic. We had a lovely dinner there, all of us. It was 250 pula per person, but we didn't mind. We had some lovely food. Keith was just after the ice cream. I think he ate all the ice cream there. And then we went on a game drive. We saw some buffalo, lots of buffalo and other animals. Kwai was still my favorite. And what else? Kubu Island was fantastic. We'd love to go back there. The salt pans was lovely. And traveling with 4 men was very interesting. We've seen them cook, Bernie and Keith, the way they would do their cooking. Mike and Jill would do their cooking, and Pim and I. We would use up all our tins, almost all of our tins we've used up, but it's great fun. And we went through Francistown yesterday. I wasn't impressed. They're building a new road there. It's going to be fantastic, but at the moment cars are coming from the front where they shouldn't. And otherwise, we all got on well. It was a lovely trip. We enjoyed it. I'd love to come back. And that's my story.
It's actually quite difficult to put into words my experience of Botswana, but I think the overall impression is that it's a land of enormity, from every sense of the word. The enormous distances one has to travel, the huge countryside, the huge amounts of bush, and even the massive tourist infrastructure the country's got, but not the least of which is the enormity of the volume of animals you see on the strip. I've never been a particular game driver, but the experience here is just spiritual, in a sense of turning every corner there's another animal. It really is, and you get up close to them. Majority of places are unfenced, so the animals are right there. You interact with them, you interface with them, you're right there. They come into your camp at night, which can be a bit alarming. You're feeling a hyena brush up against your tent, flimsy little tent that it is, and even stealing one of your slops because he thought it may be a pork chop or something. Particular highlights, I think, on the trip for me, signal out 3 of them. First of all, Kubu Island. What an experience after driving across enormous salt pans, the emptiness of the salt pans, and then coming across this amazing little island of rocks and ancient baobab trees. It was like entering another world. I think certainly something that everybody who travels, everybody who loves Africa needs to put on in their bucket list, because it is an experience of great spirituality. Then arriving at the River Kwai, where we camped for 4 days, just turning the corner and suddenly seeing this mass of animals, elephants, giraffes, warthogs, flights of birds, you name it. It was the most amazing experience. A beautiful, verdant, green river, beautiful looking, but filled with crocodiles. So that was an absolute amazing thing. Then for me, perhaps our little hop across the border into Zimbabwe to go and see the Victoria Falls. What an experience, something I've always wanted to do, and something I've now achieved. It was awe-inspiring, to say the least. It's difficult to find words to describe it, but for me, the word, and not in its modern, hip context, it was just plain awesome.
Obviously the highlight of my trip was to spend it with my lovely wife. Not one of these boy things where you veer off and women stay at home. It was fantastic, and of course the second highlight is spending it with all my friends. Fantastic friends. I will do that any day again. Well, other than getting stuck in the sand and being pulled out by a Land Rover, there was no lowlights. Of course, the Vic Falls was something else as well. I knew it was spectacular, but I didn't expect to see what I saw. That was just something out of this world. Yeah, now we're on our last leg of this trip, Boskopdang being the very last stopover, which could be also nice, but it will not surpass this country. The wilderness, the wideness, the bush is just fantastic. I will come back any day.
We've had a lovely trip for 3 weeks, travelling around Botswana, sometimes wild camping, sometimes camping in sites. We've been to Kwai, where we did some wild camping and had animals walking through the camp. Then we went to Kubu Island, which is a little rocky outcrop on the middle of the pans. The pans are absolutely extraordinary, completely flat and expansive areas of white. We didn't go to Victoria Falls with the others, but we went on the river, had a super river excursion on the River Chobe. We've had some great laughs and some sad and scary moments. But we've had a great time with our friends and our family, and I think Botswana is a fabulously friendly, warm country with lots to see and lots to do, and I'd gladly come back again.
Well, we're towards the end of our trip in Botswana. It's been a fantastic trip. It's had some highlights and some very, very lowlights. The highlights for me was to get to Kubu Island in a huge inland sea called, well, X-Sea actually it is. It's an ancient sea. Big salt pan. It's one of the biggest inland seas in Africa, and Kubu Island is a big island, kilometre long, which you can kind of imagine what it must have been like when it was all the sea all those thousands of years ago. Magical place. To drive on the pan was absolutely stunning. There was just nothing, but that nothing was quite eerie, quite just stunning, absolutely stunning. You can't really explain it. You just have to look at the pictures when on this video and that. Botswana itself is quite a big country. It's probably about the same size as all the Cape provinces put together, but its population is quite sparse. 2009 there was 1.6 million people. Now there's about 2.5 million people inhabit the country. Tswana obviously is the main language, but lots of English is spoken here as well. And the one thing it's got going for it this year is its 50th anniversary of its independence from the UK. And there's lots of big flags flying around, and we even bought a flag from somebody because they were happy to sell us and take the pooler off us, obviously. The lowlights for me on the trip were obviously getting stuck. All of us got stuck at one stage on the road to Linyanti. We drove about 10 k's, and Pim got stuck with his trailer, which was, it was going to happen. He got grounded, so we managed to pull him out, and then another person got stuck, and then I got stuck. So it was quite scary because it was the light was going, and we were getting worried that we weren't going to reach our destination. So eventually, it was decided among all of us that we were going to turn around and go back to the camp we'd actually filled up with water at Sivuti. Which was probably a good thing to do, because we wouldn't want to be out in that Chobe National Park when it's dark. There's lots of wild animals around, and we would have had to sleep in the vehicle. As simple as that. So that was quite kind of a thing that happened. But the one thing about that was it was a great experience. It was a learning curve. I think Bernie also said that. It was a learning curve for all of us about how to get out of the sand and how not to get stuck and learn about our vehicles. And I think all of us learned a lot on even when the mistakes happened. One of the other highlights for me, which I've already recorded, but I'll say it again, is Bernie got driving through some water, got stuck, and his engine went, "Pwh," which was not satisfying at the time, but Pim managed to tow him out, and Bernie managed to wash his vehicle, on the inside. But it got it going again. It meant we had to go to Mound to go and get an air filter and some oil and stuff. But at the end of the day, nobody got hurt, and his vehicle got a very, very good washing. And it's a Land Rover, by the way. We've got Toyota and Chevy and Toyota. Land Rover,